Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast of the Clip Joint here on for Clippers News. Today, there was some breaking news about a former Clipper and Blake Griffin. Over the past couple of days, he agreed to a buyout and just today signed with the Nets on a 1-year deal. Uh, you know, this is a big news for pretty much all playoff contenders, in my opinion. I mean, this really could have a big effect on things, especially if Griffin can stay healthy. I feel like there isn't a team that can beat the Nets if he's healthy throughout the season, throughout the rest of the year and playoffs. I really don't see any teams having the amount of firepower to even match up with them. So it's going to be, let's just say, it's not going to be smooth sailing for whoever has to play them. Because, they got Harden, Durant, Irving, and now you add a 6-time All-Star and Blake Griffin to the picture. In my opinion, I think you could make the argument that that's probably the best starting five in league history. I really believe it. With the amount of talent Blake has, and for them to get him on such a cheap deal, crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing to think that they can even land him and have money to do so. But that just goes to show you if you're chasing the ring, it's not always about the money so much. Because he basically gave back $13 million to the Pistons just to get the buyout to where he could, have free agency and be able to pick and choose where he wanted to play.
Yep.
And for him, the career move is definitely to try to win a championship because that's really one of the only things missing on his resume. So, definitely good move for him. I feel bad that, things didn't work out better as a Piston for him. I'm thankful for the years he put in there and the service. But, I definitely can see why he wanted to leave, given the circumstances. And the Pistons are kind of in a rebuilding mode right now, so they're not totally focused on what's best for Blake Griffin at this point.
No.
So, but I appreciated Blake's effort in, the time that he spent in Detroit. And so that's, hats off to him. I wish him well in his new endeavor. And I think, like you said, I don't know that there is a better starting five anywhere or at any time for that matter. So we'll see what happens. The only question will become is, if they got enough basketballs to go around.
Yep.
But with that being said, Blake Griffin's probably going to get the easiest shots he's ever seen in his life since he came into the league.
And
because they're not going to be able to focus on him.
And nobody can guard him. So it's like literally 4 out of the 5 players on their starting unit can run ISOs and all day and have success, pretty much. So, I'm not sure that Blake is starting, but I would presume so just because, he has a history with, making all-star games and stuff like that. So, I would have to think that the Nets would be starting him.
I think it'll be kind of on what they see from him. I don't think they're in any hurry to put him in the starting lineup. I think they're more concerned about keeping him healthy, and
Well, that's what my main concern would be.
He'll play into shape. He hasn't played in a little while now because he hadn't played for the last several weeks with the Pistons, just because they pulled him because they knew that they were probably going to trade him or cut him or whatever they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, my guess is that he may get worked into the starting lineup. I think when the playoffs hit, he'll probably be in the starting lineup. But I wouldn't be surprised right now if he's not. I could see them just saying, right now we're going to have you come off the bench because, the team's playing well. And, from a chemistry standpoint, adding Blake to the mix is another guy that likes the ball in his hands. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him, but I could definitely see a scenario where, this team basically becomes unstoppable.
No, I agree. I mean, they already average the most points in the league per game.
Yep.
And then you're adding another offensive weapon in Blake, who literally pretty much is unguardable himself. I mean, that guy can score in multiple ways. I mean, his 3-point shot has pretty much became money. I mean, he shoots pretty high percentage from beyond the arc. So I mean, I don't see if they reach the finals, which I would prefer. I mean, I would presume they will. I don't see whoever comes out of the West beating them. I mean, even if it was my team, I totally see us losing to them just because. I mean, look at what happened in the regular season between us and them. They beat us both times, and one of them they didn't even have Durant. So, I mean, it's gonna be tough sledding, and I don't even think the Lakers have enough. Even with AD playing, I don't think they have enough. So
yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see down the stretch how it goes, and But with that being said, there's also a lot of pressure on them now to win. So, I mean, that's why these guys put all this money in.
Yep.
And Steve Nash is kind of learning on the under fire here, coaching under fire because, he's got an immense amount of pressure now to win. And he's a first year head coach, and now, I mean, he's obviously got a lot of experience and has played in big games, played in the finals, so I mean, he understands
knows what it's about.
He understands it, and I mean, he was always a super smart ball player, so I'm sure he's doing just fine as the head coach. And he's got people around him that have been in some big games as well, so I'm sure that they'll be fine in that regard. But
I mean, honestly, if they don't win this year, I mean, I think you could definitely see a situation where they look at it as a huge letdown. I mean, with the roster that they've got, I mean, to me, there's no reason why they shouldn't be at least in the finals.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why they won't be in the finals. I mean, who's going to beat them?
I don't think anybody has enough.
I don't think anybody's close.
No.
Talent for talent. Not going to happen. You're not going to beat them. And, I mean, that's basically they looked at it like, hey, this is our opportunity to be legit and to bring home a title to the Nets. I mean, and this will go huge for all the people that were fans back when they were New Jersey.
Yeah.
Not Brooklyn. I mean, the Nets have been around for a long time. So, I mean, for all their fans to actually get a taste of a championship, even though it's now Brooklyn Nets, it's still the Nets. And I'm sure a lot of their fans will be super excited if they can come home with a championship. Now, I could care less myself about seeing them win. I'm not a huge Kevin Durant fan.
You're definitely not a big James Harden fan.
No, definitely not a Harden fan. I can take or leave DeAndre Jordan.
Don't you like Irving, though?
Kyrie Irving is okay, but I mean, again, I can take or leave him. He doesn't do anything for me, really. So, I mean, I'm not going to necessarily say I'm going to root for him. I could really care less. And, but, I mean, it's you can't deny the talent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, if if they go anything short of the finals, I mean, I'll be shocked. So, but we'll see what happens with them. I mean, it's going to be interesting going down the stretch, seeing how Blake Griffin fits into the mold that they've got, going there. So, if he does, then yeah, I mean, they're definitely probably my pick to win the championship. Yeah. If he comes in there and plays like I believe he can, which is a great brand of basketball. I mean, to say the least. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but, I think we can wrap it up now with this video.
I would agree. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of, interesting moves still to be made by the time the end of the season's over and the trade deadline hits. I noticed I was seeing that the Pistons there's some people interested in trying to trade for Jeremy Grant. And I'm like, man, you just got done bringing this guy in. And I guess there's a few teams that are hot and heavy for his services. I think the Raptors and a couple other teams are really interested in trying to get him there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, who can blame him? I mean, the guy's played like an all-star, since coming over. I mean, he's been awesome. He's been one of the few bright spots that the Pistons have had. And he's one of the big reasons that whatever wins they got, you can probably thank him for the majority of it.
Yep.
So,
definitely.
I mean, it's just tough watching, as a Pistons fan right now because I really feel like, we're losing players and we're not getting better. We're just kind of staying where we are. And, I realize it's a process and you got to do what you got to do. And I don't necessarily would disagree with getting rid of Blake Griffin. I mean, that's a huge contract. You have to sit there and eat for a guy that, isn't playing the majority of the games. So, and he really hasn't ever proven that he can take a team to a championship. The guy's definitely a baller when he's healthy, but, he's never healthy when it matters. So that's the problem that you run into with him.
Yeah.
So hopefully, for his sake, I mean, maybe sitting on the bench a little bit for the Nets isn't going to hurt him. Maybe that'll give him a little chance to be healthy come the playoff time.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, like I said, I mean, if he is though,
watch out.
Watch out.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. I mean,
yeah. So on that note, we'll go ahead and sign off on this one. We appreciate you guys tuning in for it. If you like what you're hearing, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so you can get more content from Tuned In Sports and the Clip Joint.
Yep.
My name is Steve.
Yeah, I'm Bennett.
And, we'll talk to you guys in the next video.
Yep.
Good night.
Ooh.